Hey beauties, it's your girl Vivian. How you all doing? I'm doing all right. I know it's been a while. I've procrastinated doing this video for a while. I've had a lot going on with school, with work, family. I've been so busy, but I decided it was time I did the video. So I'll be sharing how much we spent, the things we did to be able to save during our trip to Paris and Iceland, and things you can actually do to save if you're planning any time soon to travel, or if you're planning any kind of trip. So we initially had a budget of 5,000 for this trip, and we wanted to spend about 2 weeks in Paris, and initially was 2 weeks in Paris. So my friend Linda, who I mentioned earlier in my previous video, the pack with me video, that is very good with trip. She has been to several countries, about 80 countries. Like, she's not a travel agent, she enjoys traveling. So she told me we could actually do more than one country. So I was excited to hear how we could do this. So she told me we could work with the amount we had. That was when she mentioned that there were airlines that you can actually do a stopover with if you're traveling without paying extra. So she told me about Iceland Air, that I can actually stop over at Iceland for a couple of days. Then we wouldn't have to pay, that we would just have to make a reservation for accommodation and all that. So first of all, we decided to check for the flights. We decided May was the best time. Looking at the price of airlines around that time, so we decided to go with May. Then we found some airlines and we found the price. So she mentioned that if I didn't have much luggage, we can just do the economy light, or we can do the economy standard, because when it comes to economy, there's economy light, there's economy flex, and there's economy standard. So if the economy standard allows you to have some checked in luggages, while for the light you wouldn't have checked in luggages. It would just be your backpack, I think your hand luggage. Then for the flex, I can't really say much, but I think it has more luggage allowance. So we checked that, and we were able to establish that we were okay with that particular flight. So she told me to hold off with booking the flight, and for us to check for the accommodation. That was when I started sending her a whole lot of beautiful places and all that. She reminded me that when it comes to booking accommodation, it's not about how beautiful. I even found those that had free breakfast and all that. She told me that I could find a nice place that is quite affordable. The rooms would be beautiful, but is way outside the things that you're supposed to do, like fun things you came to do. So that was when she told me that I have to check the proximity of the hotel to things to do, restaurant, metro or bus, or even the landmarks you came to see. So that was when I had to like redefine my search. I had to lower my expectations, because then I was going for, all the looks you see on social media. Yes, sometimes you don't have to do those. If you can afford it, that's fine. But if you cannot, also you can actually find things like that, but you may have to increase your budget. But we had a budget to work with. So that was when I started checking. If I find a hotel, we would check it. She was really good with checking it on the maps, on the GPS, to know the how far it is to the Eiffel Tower, how far it is to Louvre Museum and all that. Then she told me one of the things she wanted me to consider was how close restaurants are to the accommodation, because you wouldn't want to be hungry in the morning and you're walking 20 minutes to just go buy food, and you wouldn't want to take Uber or take the bus just to go and get something to eat. So and she told me I needed to consider what do you call it, having children, because traveling with children, that means you have to consider them walking and not walking for too long. So that was what we had to factor in and all that. So after we found this place, it's called the location we stayed is called Rue La Crue. So the Rue La Crue location, the Airbnb we found is so decent, it's so beautiful. The security is good. So it doesn't just have a door, it has an extra door, like a gate. You know the way the garage door is, you can actually press it down and hold it down, hold the switch down, and it would close. That's how good this place is. So it has like an extra double security apart from the door, the metal or the iron door that closes it, so you wouldn't even know someone lives there. So in the night we would close it, some nights we leave it open. We were still having the the jet lag, the time difference stuff, looking at we weren't used to sleeping their time and all that, so it affected the kids. So sometimes we want to keep the gate down because of daylight coming in and all that. The room was decent, the space, it had kitchen, it had everything we wanted. The only thing I had concern about was the bathroom, the toilets. It had a stain. I wasn't okay with it, but apart from that, every other thing is good. The room is just, the accommodation is a 1 bed, 1 bath and living room accommodation. It is just 3 minutes from the restaurant that we were using that sold even there was an African restaurant close there, there was a Chinese restaurant. Then it's just 5 minutes walk to the metro, so it was quite easy to go out and visit places. Like the day we went to, then from the accommodation to Eiffel Tower was just about 25 minutes train ride. Even the day we went to Louvre Museum, even the day we went to Luxembourg Garden, even a few other places that we visited, it was just about 25-30 minutes train ride. And the one thing about their train is it comes out on time with 25 cents. You're okay to go anywhere you want and all that. So we had to like consider all that. We booked the flight, and if you're booking the flight, always make sure you call the flight. If you're booking directly from the airline, you might want to check what their policy is with kids when you're booking the flight. Sometimes they might have a special discount for kids. Most airlines actually have it. For Iceland, they have about 20% discount on flights for kids between 2 to 11 years old. So we consider, when we were booking that, we didn't really consider that. It was later on that I saw something on Instagram. I went to check and I found out they applied automatic 20% off for my kids' flight. And the total we spent on the flight was 2,400, about 2,400 and a few cents. Then for the accommodation, which was for about 11 nights, or about 12 nights, we went, it was 12 nights actually, was a total of 2,080. Then we booked an airport transfer from Paris to from the airport to Paris, from Paris back to the airport when we were leaving for Iceland. We booked an airport transfer, and it was a total of 165. We didn't want to reserve any tours as we had a lot of days to spend there, so we wanted to take our time. Plus there were a few days I had to stay in to study. There were a few days we felt we needed to sleep well because the kids were awake at night because they were struggling with the time difference, like I mentioned. So there were days we decided to just stay in and eat and watch TV and relax. So we decided to take it according to our own pace. Unlike the Iceland, we had everything scheduled because we were just spending total of 3 nights in Iceland. So the flight, for Iceland, we had what do you call it, we had the airport transfer scheduled. Everything was about I think 130 or 140. Then we had the golden the golden circle tour, and the Blue Lagoon was about a total of 600. So everything for Iceland was about 700 for the tour and the airport transfer. Then for the accommodation for 3 nights, we did it. It was about a total of 736, and this included the city tax, the cleaning, the city tax, and whatever that needed. We didn't have to pay extra. And the accommodation in Iceland was like, is one of the best places I've ever stayed, even when compared to even in the US or anywhere, compared to hotel, even though this is an apartment reservation. So it was good. Everything came to about 5,000, 5,006, 5,007, just say maybe $6,000. This did not include our feeding. This did not include the day we had to go to Louvre Museum. For the museum, you have to pay. Louvre Museum in Paris, you have to pay for the entrance fee to enter the building, the museum. This did not include the, maybe if you needed to go for any special maybe ride. We were planning to do the Disney in Paris, but due to the timing, and there was a day we woke up and my son wasn't feeling too well. He had allergies. We couldn't go, so we had the trip. We had the whatever cancelled. The visit cancelled. So for the whole thing, we spent about 6,000. Then I would advise, one thing I usually advise is I book my my hotel or accommodations through booking.com. This is not sponsored. They did not tell me to advertise for them, but they are free to promote this or even work with me. So if you want to book your reservation, you might want to check you might want to do it through Rakuten. So there's this app called Rakuten. I would include my referral link. If you sign up through my link, you're gonna get $30. I'll get $30. But if you sign up by yourself, I don't think you would get anything. So you might want to use my referral link. You get $30 cash back. Then also, when you go to the Rakuten app, if you type any brand you're looking for, booking.com, Macy's is on there, Target is there, Walmart is there. Most of the stores are on Rakuten. You can shop any other thing apart from flights and whatever on there. So if you go to booking.com, you're looking for hotels and you book through there. Not just that you get the cash back. I think booking.com through Rakuten is doing 4% cash back. So when I booked our flight, I made about $76 on there. Yes. So I made about $76 with the type of cashback percentage they were doing then also they sometimes offer 10% discount on your flight if you're booking through the Rakuten app. So there are so many ways you can save by when you're booking your flight. You can call the airline to know what their policy is about kids. You can book through Rakuten. If you're a content creator, you might want to book through your LTK if that works for you. Some of the airlines or some of the hotels allow you to use the LTK link. You might want to ask them if they're offering, if you're the type that travels, you might have some points to save. So yeah, these are some of the things we did that worked for us. I'll be uploading the Iceland video. It's very interesting. We got to do, I should say, our visit and travel was a whole lot organized. Looking at, we scheduled everything on time. It was a whole day activity that was packed with the Golden Cycle Tour, with the Blue Lagoon, with the whole, even when we walked around the city, it was fun. We had a great time. If you're considering doing this, 2 places we went to, I would include the links to some of the places we stayed, the accommodations. For the Iceland is a place I would love to go to. I would love to stay there next time I come. Iceland has one of the best drinking waters in the world, so we didn't have to buy drinking water. Unlike in Paris, we had to buy, even though we came with the filter bottle, but we preferred to buy bottled water. If you're on a budget, you might decide to use your filter bottle to save some money. There are good food to eat. There are nice places to eat depending on your budget. There were days we bought food $30. There were days we bought food $70, depending on the type of restaurant, the class of restaurant, and all that. So yeah, like they say, in Paris you have to be careful. There are pickpocketers and all that. Luckily we didn't get to witness any, maybe because we were warned. My friend told me not to engage in any form of conversation or even any form of fun with anyone while we were there, so I was really careful. So the guy that we met at the Eiffel Tower that took our pictures was kind enough. He gave us the Eiffel Tower status. He came to actually tell us it was more expensive, but we told him what we were going to pay him. So he was kind enough. We decided to tip him for being nice to take the pictures. The people we met and asked questions were kind. If you're confused, you can download the translation apps, they would help you. If you speak French, that's good. My husband speaks French better than I do. I don't even attempt to speak the ones I learned back at secondary school. So that is it for this part of the video. I hope you continue watching. You're gonna enjoy the video. A whole lot of things we did, the great times, the food we ate, the times we spent, the places we visited, and how it actually feels traveling with kids. Nobody talks about it. And one more advice I would give when you're traveling with kids is to make sure you pack your things properly. One of the mistakes we made was traveling with the cute boxes that we bought for the kids. Those boxes, one, they are not up to the standard luggage size. Two, the kids don't even carry them, so you are still left to carry your own hand luggage and to carry theirs. So next time we're planning on just giving them the school bags and put their things in a standard checked-in bag or maybe carry-on bag instead of those cute. All we got was, oh, I like their bag, oh, where did you buy this, oh, this is so beautiful. That was all we got. While we were still busy struggling with us. Luckily they were kind enough to check in. Iceland is kind. I don't know, their airplane, they didn't offer us any food. We had to buy all the things we ate. We paid for the Wi-Fi, we bought the food because we needed the Wi-Fi and all that. We are the type that like to be entertained when we are on air. For the kids, they got their own food. It's part of what they give the kids to entertain them and all that. They gave them toys to play with. They gave them horses, they gave them penguins and all that. They gave them coloring book and all that. Just to let you know, we only paid for 2 checked-in bags, but they checked in 7 items for us. That was how kind they were. That's it for the whole thing. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer it. And don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, share this video with a friend who might be traveling. And as always, thank you for supporting your girls. Keep watching.